I ain't made a video in so long, like so long. So, this video, this video is my 30-day update of wearing this crystal right here, Moldavite, okay? If you are not ready for drastic change in your life or changes that you should have done a long time ago, don't get this. And I've heard a lot of people talk about it like, oh, this stone is like, it ruined my life. It did this, it did that. Well, you just weren't ready for what you were supposed to be doing in the first place. Honestly, I'm just going to tell y'all my Moldavite story. It's an interesting one. It's not, at least I don't think it was like, as drastic as everybody else, because I already was a person that kind of went with my instincts for the most part and kind of did things that was just like, if I didn't rock with it, I wasn't doing it. But it really did open my eyes to a lot, for sure. Because, yeah. First off, how I ended up getting this stone, I remember it coming to my attention like here and there, but I didn't think nothing of it. Like I told myself like, yeah, eventually I'll get it. But then I was having a conversation with my sister and she had asked me about Moldavite. Like, is it really as crazy as people say? And like, I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, so I started doing my research on it. So that's when I was like, all right, what are the properties of Moldavite and like all this other stuff? And I was just like, oh, I do this already. So I might as well get it and just be like, all right, just to have my own personal reviews. And if anybody else asks, I have real insight on it. So, I was just like, you know what? I guess this is my sign to work with it, because like I've seen it here and there, but it should be for it to really be brought to my attention. I'm like, okay, so I'm about to be working with this stone. It's about to be interesting. All right, let's get ready. So, because like I was at a point in my life where I was feeling like really stagnant and was like, I don't know what to do with myself. What am I supposed to be doing? Like, spirit, come on. Like, where does hope come from? So with that, I was just like, all right, you know what? That day I like ordered it from Amazon. And so like I'm looking up the prices. Like this stone is not cheap. Like this piece, I didn't even know I got it on sale. Like I was looking up, like there are pieces that are like this big that are like $30. And I'm just like, huh. And I was like asking, like looking around at like the local apothecaries and see like, oh, do you have any Moldavite in stock? And I was asking people in like Facebook groups and was like, oh, do you know where I can get some like authentic Moldavite? And they were like, oh yeah, well this, that. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just order from Amazon. So this particular necklace, came up to like $60. And I was just like, I'm gonna go ahead and just buy it. So I bought it and I'm just waiting on it. Just waiting. And then like, I didn't realize like right after I bought it, it went up to like $89. I was like, so, okay. All right, that's cool. So I bought it, and then like I remember the first day it came, I was just like, I could just feel like, I was like, oh, I'm ready for it. Like I was anxious in a sense. So the first day I got it, let's see. The first day I got it, I remember it was the second. It had came in the mail, and I had just like, saged it, cleansed it, and like put it on. And I wore it to the park. I just had the urge to go to the park. And I was just like meditating and just listening to the wind and the birds and all the other stuff. And I had saw a snail, and I'm like, I've never seen a snail. Like, where did a snail come from? Like right in front of my car though. Like I'm walking back to my car, and there's this snail just like actively like moving towards my car. So I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, because I was going to pick it up if it was a shell, because like I find shells a lot. But to find a shell with a snail in it was like, oh. I looked up what a snail means. And it's like, basically snails are signals of slow progress and, taking your time and trusting the process and self-care and things like that. So like along the process of your journey, take care of yourself. And I'm just like, okay, this goes exactly with what's going on in my life. So I'm like, okay, cool. I just started noticing like really strange things. But I remember just like being so like calm. Like this stone makes me so like emotionally calm. Like it like gathers all of my emotions, puts them away in a sense for me to be able to think outside of them. Like my emotions are definitely there. Like I feel them and I'm able to process them without putting them into my decisions, if that makes sense. That day that I got it, I was just like, so I put it on. When I put it on, I like physically, I was like, because everybody in the videos were talking about like, oh, it's hot, it's this, it's that, it's that. But I didn't feel that part. But what I did feel once I put it on, like my head was tingling for a second. And then like I got like this weird like head rush out of nowhere. And I was just like, okay. But once I like sat with it for a second, it just kind of just went away. So I guess that was just like the syncing our energies type of thing, which happened fairly quick. I can honestly say that like one of the things that this stone definitely does for me is when I'm not doing something that I'm supposed to be doing, it makes whatever I'm doing very uncomfortable. Like, say if I'm trying to sit and binge watch a show on Netflix, my head will be like rocking. Like my head will hurt so bad. I'm just like, bruh. Like all I can think about is like, oh, you should be reading this book. Oh, you should be doing this spread. Oh, you should be studying this. You should be studying that. And I'm just like, because the first time I noticed it, I was like, why does my head hurt so bad? And I just felt so called to do like my altar work and things like that. And then like the minute that I start, my headache is gone. I'm like, oh, the first night that I slept with it, because like, okay, so I've had it on, but I have not taken it off. Like I've had it on for 30 days straight, period. So the first night that your dreams are crazy. Your dreams are crazy. Like they're so vivid. Like, okay, so like I've always been like a dreamer, and everybody that like knows me, they'll get like random messages from me because like I have dream messages for people. Like it could be even people that I literally just met, like just met, or just like had like one conversation with, and I'll have a dream about them or a message for them. And it's so strange. But people that know me and get message, like there are people that get like regular messages from me, and it's very interesting. If you ever got a dream message from me, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, so like the first dream message, or it wasn't even a dream message, it was just like the first dream that I had wearing this, that it was just like so vivid. It was like I was intervening in a message, no, in a meeting that these aliens were having. I'm just like, am I supposed to be here? Like in my dream, I'm like, and they were like really, really tall. Like, I'm just like, well, this is interesting. And like they were they were talking about like, what are they gonna do about what's going on with these humans? And I'm just like, so they're trying to help, but they can only do so much. If you want me to do a video on like that dream, also let me know down in the comments, and I'll do videos about some of the crazy dreams that I've had, because I try to write down my dreams either in my phone, and try to keep a dream journal. And like some of the dreams I'll be like, what is going on? And it'll be like so many things going on, but then like it'll play out in my life, because like my dreams, they're very symbolistic. They're not like straightforward like this. It's like riddles. I have to figure this stuff out, and I'm like, why y'all playing with me like this? Like, why y'all making my brain work so hard? But it's fine, because I mean, it keeps my imagination active. aside from like the dreams, like my thoughts are like so loud. Like I can't ignore my thoughts. Like, you know how sometimes you'll just be like, whew, and thoughts will just be running? No. Listen, I'll have like thoughts of just like, ugh, like things that I should be doing. It'll be literally be like, go read this book. Go do this spread. Go ask spirit this question. Go meditate. Go do some yoga. And it's just like, I can't ignore them because it'll keep happening until I do it. So coming back to thoughts, on the third day of me wearing this stone, I was doing some channeling work with my spiritual team. And around like, as I got like to the last of it, it was literally just like, cut your hair. I'm like, what? Like, it was all that I could think about, like what I would look like, what it would feel like, all this. I just kept thinking about cut your hair, cut your hair, cut your hair. And I'm like, I gotta cut my hair. This is insane. I'm like, you know what? I mean, I've always had short hair. So like when I went through that period of having my locks, it was like, it was very different because it was the longest I've ever let my hair get in like years. And I was just like, I gotta cut my hair. Interesting. Well, guess I'm cutting my hair. So the crazy thing is, like the next day I had a reading scheduled and I was just like, all right, after I do this reading, I'm gonna cut my hair. That's just gonna be it. After I do this reading, I'm gonna cut my hair. So I'm waiting for the person to contact me and tell me like, hey, I'm on my way or such and such. And he like messages me and he's like, yeah, like, can we reschedule? I'm like, I gotta cut my hair right now. Okay, so like the crazy thing is like, I instantly just got up, grabbed the scissors and just start cutting. I was just like, it was not even like a thought process. Like I was just like, oh my God, I'm cutting my hair. The whole time I'm cutting it. And then like, as I'm I'm realizing like, okay, I got half a head of locks and like my hair, I'm just like, ooh, I cut my hair. Oh, I tried not to look at it until like I cut them out, detangled it, and like washed my hair. And I was just like, I look in the mirror and I'm like, my hair is gone. What? So then I had like dyed it because like at that time I had two-toned hair where it was like this bright orangey red and like blue. And I was just like, oh. So then I tried to dye over it and I was just like, no, I gotta cut it off. I'm like, I gotta shave my head. Okay, well, guess I'm shaving my head. So I had asked my dad to cut my hair for me and it was just gone. I was just like, it's gonna take some getting used to all over again. It wasn't like I had any like emotional reaction to it or anything like that. It was just like, about time you did this. My locks were literally just pulling out the things that needed healing. Like I really felt like my locks were like my healing process. And I'm like, so my journey, my 3 years of locks was literally my 3-year healing journey to get all of that internal energy that I wasn't able to reach out through my hair. Because I've never really been attached to my hair. Like I was able to just like cut it off, dye it, cool. And like I've always had short hair and I never had an issue with that. So yeah. So that's how I ended up like this. Okay. And I can say that I missed it because like once I like cut it off and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna let it grow. And then like yesterday, after being cooped in the house for so long and like my channel messages was like, girl, if you don't get cute, it's makeover time. It's time to, start feeling better. Start feeling like yourself. So like once I dyed my hair blonde, I was like, oh, there she is. Hey, like, This stone, it's actually a tektite. So it's not really considered a crystal or a stone or anything like that because it's from a meteorite that hit Earth years ago. And it's basically like melted glass. And so like it has so much energy radiating from it because it's extraterrestrial. So there's like all this extra energy that's not from here that's like penetrating into our atmosphere. So that alone is just like, oh yeah, this starseed energy is real, okay? Like mine is like oh, about my emotions and stuff. So when I was talking about like earlier in the video about how my emotions are more under control, it allows me to think a lot clearer and be more assertive of what it is that I really want to say and do. Because wearing this, I can't have no true feelings. Like, anybody ask me a question, I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. Like, I used to be the type of person to be like, ooh, I don't want to say that because it might be too harsh. Oh, I don't want to say that because they probably don't want to hear it. Or, like, there will be times where I want to tell people things and I'm just like, are they ready to hear that? Like, I don't think they're ready to hear that. Psh, what? Listen, you ask me a question, you gonna get the real answer. If you don't want the truth, don't ask me. That's all I'm saying. Definitely has taken away that whole layer that I had that stopped me from really expressing my true feelings and how I really feel about a lot of things. And that just doesn't exist anymore. It's literally like, hey. Another thing. So, as I was talking about earlier about dreams, like that has always been like one of my spiritual gifts. Like I've always been a person to have dreams that were like so symbolic and they meant so much. And it was just like, oh, so that's what that dream was telling me. And so I'm just like, oh, okay. So it definitely enhanced my dreamer abilities, like effortlessly. Cause like I remember one of these nights I had like a dream. I had like 4 different dreams and they were 4 different messages for 4 different people. 444. I just had to relay these messages to people because like now it's like, sure, I'll have these dreams about random people, but it's like I have to tell them what the dream was. Because like when I tell them that, they be like, oh, that's crazy because I was just da 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 da. And I'm like, well, you need to do this, this, this. Let's try this and see how it works. Like, it's just like I became like, I don't want to say an instruction manual for people, but like a guidance system even more for people that aren't ready to talk about certain things or aren't able to really, they don't know how to talk about it. Like they might be going through some things and they may not have people around them that they can express these things to, but it's just like, I have been placed in their life to be like, hey, what's up? Something don't feel right. Like randomly, like there are people that I'll just like randomly text and be like, how you feeling? I feel like da 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 da. And they'd be like, that's crazy because blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Well, I'm here. So, any questions, any concerns, all just ask. I'm here. Apparently, I'm meant to help you, so I'm here. Instant manifestation. I mean, I'm able to think something and then I'll see it literally either later on that day or the next day. Or say if I'll have like the intuition to like do something or tell somebody something, or they be like, I just had that thought. Like, it's just, when you really listen to your intuition, it just goes smooth. Like, just go with the flow of stuff, because the more you resist it, the more chaotic things get. So that's what people really don't. Something in my eye. I feel like people have the most trouble where it's like they're not listening to their intuition. They're more so listening to their ego, or they're listening to their emotions, when it's just like, hey, just do this. You could just get the idea to like, hey, I'm gonna walk left instead of right today. Or, hey, I'm gonna eat this instead of that today. And you don't understand that just you making that one little decision can really lead you down where you're supposed to go, towards the people you're supposed to meet, towards the things you're supposed to see. So like signs and synchronicities are real. Like, there are some things of like, oh, I've seen this, but nobody has ever seen this in their life. Or I've seen something and it made me feel a certain way, or it triggered a certain memory. And it's because you were supposed to see that to think about whatever it was so that you can be like, oh, that makes sense. It's just crazy. Like, this stone is like really powerful. Like, if you are not ready to rapidly go through your spiritual growth process, journey, healing, all of that, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you are ready for a change, if you are ready for, if you're not happy with your life right now and you don't know what to do or where to go, get this stone. You don't necessarily have to get a big piece like this. You can get that $30 piece. I mean, like, the size really doesn't make a difference. But I feel like the bigger the piece, the more intense it will be, just because there's more energy being given off. So, I mean, like, to start out, definitely get a small piece, but the experience is different for everybody because everybody's going through different things. Everybody's experiencing different things, and everybody responds to things differently. So you just have to keep that in mind as well, because we are all on our own personal journeys. Like, you can't look at somebody and be like, I want to do that, I want to be them, but you don't understand why they are the way they are. Like, that journey or that life was not meant for you. So stop trying to fit into that life, because that's a whole nother journey that you have no business in. I've been like drawn to like specific things. Like, there are times where I just like I think for like a week straight, I just kept looking up like things in regards to like starseed origins, which I've already done before, but it's like it's being like re-brought to my attention. So I feel like whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, or the interest that you're supposed to be following or informing yourself about, this is definitely going to push you in that direction. Because you'll say, if you are so used to watching certain stuff, and then like out of nowhere, you'll be like, I think I'm gonna watch this today. And it's like completely out of your interest bracket. Like, you didn't even know that you were interested in this. And it just like, oh, I resonate with that. Oh, I get that. Oh, so that's this, that's like all of it just kind of just falls into part. It really helps you understand into place. So you really have to understand that everything is connected. Everything happens for a reason. There are no such thing as coincidences. Like, this stuff's real, yo. Like, so that's pretty much like the gist, an increase in like my connection with my guides, with people, an enhancement in my gifts, my dreams, vivid, like, oh my God, it's crazy. My dreams are like, ugh. They've definitely have shown me true things that maybe I've had doubt about, or that I wasn't paying attention to, or things like that. So like, if you're ready, I would recommend it. If you're ready, it's cool. It's chill. So yeah, that's my 30-day update on this Moldavite stone. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. And if there anything that I talked about in this video that you want me to elaborate on, let me know down in the comments. Yeah, so, hey. So I just hope that, this gave you insight. If you were thinking about getting Moldavite, if you've heard about Moldavite and wanted to know, like, someone's personal experience, because I know there's a lot of other videos on YouTube about, different Moldavite experiences. So, yeah. If you want to hear anything else from me, just let me know. So, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, so stay safe, stay blessed, stay great, be awesome, be you.